might as well go and start off.
Excuse me, I wonder if I might have the floor for just a minute here.
Yes.
Okay. For those who don't know me in the room, I'm Jim Robinson. I'm an OFSC Life member. For the pilot project in Sudbury for STOP, I was the operational manager for STP, and from 95 until 99, I was the provincial coordinator of the program. Now I'm just one of the Army STOP guys. I said I was going to come out here today and hear what you had to say about the program, and it was concise, it was to the point, it laid it out how it's going to be. And I acknowledge that the STOP program is a function that belongs to the OFSC and the OPP together, and you're going to tell us how it's going to be, and there's really nothing we can do about that. There's only 3 people in this room who were there at the beginning of this program, and I just want to offer a couple of comments from that perspective, if I may. The risk management issues, we went through them in the early 90s. I dealt with OPP legal branch along with Lynn Beach, a number of other people. And yeah, they were the same questions then that we have now. I understand that different people are at the helm now and have different perspectives, and there's different advice on this. And you have altered the program to reflect those concerns. A few of the small things, the badges, they were first given out by Commissioner O'Grady, who thought they were a great idea. When we're out on the trail and everybody watches American television and you are trying to convince somebody to be compliant, that little piece of tin, which has no authority in itself, and neither does a police officer's badge, helps convince them that you're somebody in authority who has to be respected. The powers of arrest, we never used them, acknowledged, but we have used the option a number of times to provide people with a reason to comply with us. And for the threats given, it defused a situation that might have gotten ugly otherwise. When we started this thing, we had a meeting at Sudbury Detachment called by to us then unknown OPP Sergeant Lynn Beach, who pulled together people from all across, had any impact on the snowmobiling community, to talk about why we had 5 dead guys in 14 days and what could we do about it. Constable Phil Whitten at that point, when we said, how many impaired people have you charged in the last year? And they said none, and we said, why aren't you doing your job? He got up and described his circumstances, the constable trying to enforce the Motorized Snow Vehicle Act and the drinking provisions of the criminal code out there. And we, that first season, just put trail wardens out to assist. Had the pleasure of meeting Sean Ray on the very first one of those checkpoints. And after a season where we had a large impact on what was going on, Norm put together the proposal, researched how volunteers could be sworn in as special constables and provincial offences officers, because trust us, the government and the police did not know that. And then we spent 3 years running the pilot project and proving that we could do this job successfully, and we've done it for 18 years with no serious problems. I've heard a couple of rumors about little transgressions, but nothing that's been documented. Now we're in a different world. Back in those days, Michael talked about changing in response to the community. Back then, we changed paradigms in response to a community's needs. And we set up a program that was hailed as an example of community-based policing. The police gave up a little bit of their total control of things, and we had a big impact. The doctors at the trauma center here kept studies in the 3 years before we started patrolling the trails with the police. They had 15 fatalities and 13 of them were alcohol involved. In the 3 years following, there was 4 fatalities, 2 of them alcohol involved. On our patrols now, it's difficult to find anybody who's been drinking. It has a very positive effect. But the STOP program's goal in those days, if you look at the objectives, the STOP program, STOP officers enforce the provisions of the Motorized Snow Vehicle Act to assist the police with that. And what I see here now is that the STOP officers, and Mike's used the term OFSC-STOP officer to indicate now we are more in the line of a campus police or something else, that we now will be looking after the OFSC security issues on the trail. And as I say, the OFSC and the OPP dictate what the purpose of this program is going to be. We had a vision back then. Lynn Beach held that vision, shared it with me, with Norm, and that vision is no longer the vision that the OFSC and the OPP have for this program. I witnessed the fact that Lynn was asked to resign when she tried to push that vision and tried to hold to that vision. Chris and I had a talk earlier just before the meeting about we got to stop having dissent about the program. I agree. If you're going to be successful going forward, we can't be a thorn in your side. We cannot be constantly nagging and backbiting about how things aren't the way that they used to be. And his closing comment on that is maybe the STOP program is not for you anymore. You're right, Chris, it's not. It's not my vision. I can't give my time to it. I understand what you're doing. I signed on to do a specific job for my community and for the snowmobiling community. And with that, I'm going to say thank you for making the presentation. To the STOP officers and police officers in the room that I've worked with, it's been an honor, and I'm done.